morning, good evening, wherever you are. And this very, very foggy night in New Sarum, very misty area, down by the port, we see Howard Holliday sitting by the docks with a suitcase next to him and a few bags, a few other bags with him as well. And he's just sitting, contemplating, looking at a small picture of his family from when he was much younger. His brother, himself, and his mother and father. He sits here awaiting several friends of his. Friends that he trusts, some of the very few people that he has ever considered friend. And just sits here pondering and waiting, pondering many things right now. The darkness sort of shrouds over his face a bit, thinking about what's going to happen to him and everything he's worked towards.
Stefan at this point is he's just come from a bit of a shopping trip. 3 bags. He's got three full paper shopping bags. Are reusable bags for specific purpose he's planning. It's when he got the text message when he was checking out. So he decided to reutilize the cab and head to the less traveled area of the Northern Docks. And at this moment, he's getting out of the cab, paying the driver, picking up his four bags filled with groceries. Don't know. Trying to find this location.
It's from the text. It's pretty easy to find, and you do spot a figure. You don't see their face, but you can tell by the hair immediately. It has to be Howard and how he's dressed, but he's keeping his head down. He's not looking up as people pass. The very few people who pass by.
Stefan slowly makes his way, trying to, carry the 4 heavy bags. It's kind of slowing him down a little bit. So.
As you approach him, you probably Howard doesn't even really look up from. Looks like a small Polaroid that he's looking at. He just keeps staring at it. You notice you still it's something. I'd say just do a perception check. I would say just on him.
Perception alertness. Yes, indeed.
Yes. Oh yes, I'm gonna have to roll this for you because dice roller isn't working, right?
7, 7, 8. So 3 successes. Complete success.
All right. I'll say you do notice something about his face. You haven't seen it completely, but you do see on one side it's normal, but you see some streaks of something. You don't exactly know what. It looks like almost black to some degree.
Howard?
As Howard lifts his head, you notice finally, and it probably comes to a bit of shock to you, that the left side of his face appears burned. His eye itself is sort of is actually kind of gone a little white to some degree.
What in the hell has happened to you?
Oh, hello there, Stefan. It's yeah. It's nothing to worry about, just a bit of an accident that happened when I was at home. That's all.
You haven't made an effort to mend it.
Uh, it can't really, not much can be done except I've already done as much as possible. I was just working in the basement with some chemicals and beakers spilled and
Stefan is going to attempt. I'm going to have him make a intelligence plus science. He doesn't have a specialty, but most of his background is in chemistry. Or some of his background is in chemistry.
all right.
Oh, minus one, of course. Complete success.
Complete success. All right.
What kind of chemical burn?
It is acidic of nature, of course. I'd say, what's a common, what's a common acid that's used in laboratories?
What were you doing?
He was making a small mixture. I can't really say everything because that would kind of spoil it all, but
No. Just what? Why did you need? Why did you need to use acid? What were you trying to do? Just one word.
I didn't need the acid. Actually, it just I was reaching for something in the cupboard and spilled out onto my face.
That can be mended.
Oh, it will heal. It'll heal over time. I can't see anything right out of my left eye right now, but I'll be alright.
It's going to heal on its own.
I know what to do, Stefan. I know how to fix it. Anyway, I think we should wait for the others until I let you know what's going on.
But particularly a car comes by the docks, Howard and Stefan. As this figure gets closer and closer to your destination, you feel a wafting of cold breeze. Maybe it is foggy at the docks, yes, but did the weather say that it was going to be cold again? It's getting cold, yes, but this one it's far colder than you would have thought. But what you see is Mutt wearing his jacket, of course, and smoke already wafting into the air as if to combat the cold. Hey, Stefan, Howard, what's going on here? You sent me a text and not much else. What have you been doing? Haven't
Has
seen you in a
anyone
while.
seen you with that scar?
No, I think you're the first one to see Stefan. And
As
you too, Matt.
Smite kind of looks a little bit more intently at Howard. He notices this burn, scarring, if you will. Holy fucking shit! Who put you through the ringer?
My own crassness, I would say. I was working in my laboratory and was reaching for some things in the cupboard, and a vial of acid fell out onto my face.
I would suggest you take care of that before anyone sees you.
For what?
I would suggest you take care of that before someone sees you.
I'll be fine.
Actually, yeah. How come you haven't? Might as making motions where that thing is. Why haven't you cleaned up? Or at least put a bandage on it.
No.
The bandages haven't really been able to stick very well. I don't have any more right now, and I'm in a bit of a hurry at the moment.
If one of the kind were to see that is not the kind of thing that would heal in a normal mortal. That is something that would require.
This happened about a week ago. This is a burn.
That is an acid burn.
Yes, that's an acid.
Probably hydrochloric. That is something that would require cosmetic surgery, if I'm not mistaken.
And could I afford that? No. People can look at me and think of what they like. I don't give a shit. There is no problem here, Stefan. I might look a little off, but it's not. I don't look like a horrid, disfigured monster. Maybe a child might point and laugh, but I can get over that.
Stefan's listening.
That
No, go for it. Go for it. You do your thing.
At that comment, you hear a voice. It might be just because everybody was so transfixed on Howard's face and Howard's need to rebut, but you hear a voice coming closer. You know, I would have some friends who would take exception to that. A large man in a red tie, standing, walking towards the group at a fairly brisk pace. He seems to be in good spirits, all things considered. Stefan let me know that you were looking for me. Didn't know it was going to be a nice little gathering, otherwise I would have ended up bringing party favors and oh dear God.
Yeah.
So that's what you meant.
As Stefan is listening intently to Howard's tone of voice, watching body language, paying very close attention to subtle shifts, creases in his face, that is actually four successes at difficulty 8 for aura perception.
Mutt is doing perception empathy.
That is primary color, a pattern of colors, if there is a pattern, and subtle shifts. So effectively, that's two or more. I mean, what is his emotional state? Is it shifting, and is there a pattern to it?
It's not currently shifting. He does appear to be very calm, actually. But you do, well, I would say there's a hint of, just a small hint of sorrow as well. This calm sorrow to some degree that you're noticing in the patterns.
For anyone looking at Stefan, yeah, for anyone paying attention to Stefan right now, if not, go ahead and make a perception alertness roll. Just standard.
All right.
Not fucking difficult. It's fine.
Crap, where did I put my character sheet? Hold on.
As
Actually, be mainly for, I think, Mutt and Axel.
okay,
I think Mutt has actually seen Stefan's emotional state and facial features
all right.
change. I know Axel has.
Okay, I have 4 successes. Mutt, as he looked at Howard's face and body language as if he was trying to encompass some sort of thing out of the corner of his eye, he noticed something going on with Stefan. He knows he's seen it before, that kind of...
You don't notice. Stefan doesn't seem to be experiencing, and like he's very concentrated. He's very cognate right now. But what you notice is you see something that is downright bizarre. You see a silver line spiraling around the pupil of his eyes, like a coil.
as Mutt notices this kind of silver swirling, if you will, on around Stefan's eye. What the fuck is going on with that? Actually, you see that shit?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Nothing you need to worry about just yet.
I see.
Stefan, are you alright?
Fine. The biggest question is Howard.
Yes.
And he kind of takes a closer look at that Polaroid that he's holding.
Oh, you're going to take a look at it. It is a picture of what appears to be, from what you could guess, a young Howard, and possibly his brother and parents.
Axel, I believe, is very familiar with this photograph, correct?
Yes, you've seen this photograph before, actually.
Yeah. Well, I better remember it with that, right?
Yeah. No shit, right?
Yeah. Axel takes a quick look at it. Kind of tilts his head for a second. Um. I'm gonna have to look up something. Continue.
Okay.
Stefan kind of takes a look and makes a motion as if to take a hold of the picture. May I?
Howard, for just a moment, he sort of moves his hand back, but then he lets you have it. It is a photo that Howard looks only to be around maybe 11 or 12 years old, and his brother just looks a little bit, it looks like he's in his later teens, I would say. The parents, let's say they look like they're in their early 40s, I would say.
Stefan appears to be concentrating as he's holding and looking at the picture. And you notice there's an unsteady breathing.
Stefan, you okay?
I'm gonna do this. Okay, wow. That was actually difficulty 10 because I don't actually have this particular gift. Your sibling, I take it.
Yes, my brother.
You were close at this time.
Yes, we were. It's actually the reason why I've called you three here.
And Stefan just kind of shakes his head a little bit. Almost as though his focus is waning. And he hands the picture back to you.
Thank you.
Where am I?
Axel, he looks at Howard, kind of places a hand on his shoulder, looking at the photo. It's okay. Take your time. Looks to Mutt. Just
That was three tens that I got on that. I was fucking lucky.
Yeah.
Mutt looks over at Axel, and Axel can see there's a bit of the way that Mutt's looking. It's one of confusion, maybe, one of concern, maybe, for Stefan, being that, of course, Stefan had swirly shit in his eyes and seems to be coming out of some kind of trance, if you will. Of course, Howard, and things being a little too confusing for this Bruja. Maybe it's just a Malkavian thing.
Might be. Might very well be. Axel is... He's looking at the photo. I'm worried. He kind of looks up and down at Howard. Now as disfigured on the outside as he is internally. Looks at this gathering of friends. The big mystery. The gathering, the worry.
What are your intentions, Mr. Holiday?
My intentions. My brother is dead. He was murdered. And so, I'm going to Poland. I'm going to his funeral.
You have made special arrangements?
Yes, I have.
Really? You gonna be coming back anytime soon?
No.
No.
Why?
Not until it stops knocking. Judgment.
The man who killed him. I know who he is. He's the same man who killed my mother and father.
And you go to offer yourself?
What?
Come on, Howard. You think that rushing into it would end up doing you any bit of good?
Rushing into what?
Sorry, things get ahead of me. I look and I see... it knocks. I will say this, though. If you're wanting aid, just say it.
No, no. I must do this alone.
We're
I'm
family.
going... My brother was, even though I hated him, he was closer family than anyone ever was. He was my only brother. He was my only brother. I grew up with him. The death of our parents tore us apart, quite literally. The day of their funeral, came in. When I saw him, I wanted to kill him. Wearing a priest robe, mocking my mother and father, saying it was penance from God for not believing. Even all these years, hating him, he was still my brother. He was still my family.
Under normal circumstances, I might disagree with his axiom, but I can't. Part of me believes that this is foolish
Foolish.
to chase after this murderer.
Chase after him. The chase is about to end.
Presenting part of me.
As much as I like the idea of getting on someone who hurt you in a major way, especially for hurting family, I gotta agree with Stefan here. Seems rather foolhardy. Seems rather foolish. This is coming from a Bruja of all things. Foolish and emotion is part of what we do.
Foolish emotion. That's all I have left. That's all I have left. That's all I have left.
How many times are you gonna say that till you convince yourself?
I'll say it as many times as I want to say it.
That is not the only thing you have left.
What else do I have left? My research? Oh yes, that is something I can still take solace in. At the same time, I have very little.
That last conversation we had at the gym.
I don't want to remember that.
Why not? Because you can actually help people
I will
who are
help
still alive.
people. I will. What do you think? I'm a doctor, damn it. I don't want to remember it because of what you made me remember.
It occurs to me that in that moment I did not think that I could connect with you. It appears that I was successful to a degree. But I know what it is to lose family to senseless violence. And even if I had been able to find that person and had that need for revenge run through my mind,
I don't want revenge.
Then why go?
Why
If you
go?
don't, why go exactly?
But I want to watch. I will be there. I will be there when my brother is laid to rest. That is why I am going.
Did you say Howard was holding a firearm?
No, he was holding
No.
a photograph.
Oh, photograph. Okay, just checking.
No.
I just want to make sure.
Axel is rolling. At this point, he is checking empathy. He's trying to see like where Howard is, because this is one of those things where something's not registering well here. Which case it's 2 successes. So is he actually telling the truth in that regard?
He is.
Mutt wants to try and Mutt wants to try and convince Howard to, at the very least, think things through. What would that be? Charisma, empathy, charisma, expression.
Expression.
Expression. Uh, nope, I botched. Or I failed. I think I botched, though.
Failed.
Yeah, I failed. Never mind. Mutt, he's, kind of stammering over his words as if he's trying to put something together, but it's not registering as well as one would hope. Maybe it's just because he still doesn't understand it at all, but okay, so you go over there, and then what? You just gonna stay in Poland for the rest of your time? Uh, you know, there's people down here. There's people here that you say you want to help, and then you're just gonna leave. I mean, I don't get it, Howard. I
have
don't get
to
it.
this much. You're not going to. You have no plans to seek revenge to put yourself in harm's way. Then why do you make mention that you? Why would it come up or occur that you would be what? Giving up
Giving up what?
the way you spoke earlier. It was
Yes.
like you you do not intend for something to go smooth.
Nothing ever goes smooth for me. What I simply want to do is go back home. This isn't my home. Sarum isn't my home. I just want to go back to where I was born. Do something. Get out of this damnable city. I can't stand it here anymore. Just can't stand it. All this bullshit. The fact that I have to lead this accursed life. I can do good, yes. You're right about that. I won't deny it. But at the same time, why me? Why did Finch have to break? Why did he have to break my window? Why was he following me that entire time? Because he thought I could help his little society, this little underground thing. I just can't stand this anymore. I need just to have some time alone, away from all this madness.
Well, that just lucky you.
Yeah.
You want to end up here saying, why me? Oh, woe is me. Sorry to say, most of us don't have the luxury of being able to leave on a moment's notice. And most of us don't end up having the pull to be able to end up jumping into a whole nother country. And to make it perfectly clear, everybody here, I'm pretty sure there's not one single one of us that stepped up and said, this is what I wanted. So don't pull me a crap of, why me? Oh, woe was me.
You
Same
notice
blood runs through my veins as it runs through yours. I think that would explain you having something sterner inside you than this.
I completely agree with this, Axel.
You notice at this point that Howard appears, you do notice a shift in his face. You see anger. You see just bitter hatred that has been pent up for so long.
Are you looking at Axel right now?
No, he's looking at his, like, he's got his head down, his eyes are closed. I hear you say the same bullshit every time I see you, Axel. And
What is Howard's humanity rating?
It is 7.
Oh, why are you stealing from me, Jeff? Oh, same conclusion. All right, Jeff, your stage.
There is no need for anger. And
Exactly.
Stefan says that, Howard, you feel the anger start to slowly subside against your will. It starts leaving.
as it seems Howard's that emotion of anger seemingly to subside almost as quickly as it came about. Exactly. Exactly, Howard. Why are you getting mad at Axel for putting a little logic to this whole thing? You want what exactly do you have planned? You said you're just gonna go see your brother get buried, and then what? How are you gonna live? How are you gonna subside for yourself? Or are you just gonna walk from city to city in Poland or wherever? Is that what you're gonna do? You're just gonna become a night highwayman? Huh? Go around and stalk people in the night? That makes no sense. Howard, you're smarter than that. I know for a fucking fact you're smarter than that.
Especially if you have lived in this country for long enough to have solid, solid footing on the ground.
There is no footing in Poland, is there, Howard?
No, he can find something.
It's gonna
Either
take
way, it means that I end up watching more of my blood walk out. I find that unacceptable. We've already lost one. The only reason we know that is because of you, Mutt. The rest of them, how many more? I've already ended up losing two brothers to this same kind of bullshit.
If I
Cooter,
got
Seth.
the same way as Howard, I wouldn't be in the city. If I thought the same way that he is thinking now, I would have returned to Hamburg. And I would not know any of you. But I didn't, because I spent the majority of my life, 30 years, building existence here. You are just going to walk away. The last time that I was able to go back to Germany was to bury my mother, and it took a lot, the majority of my resources. I have not been able to return since. This is my home. You cannot walk away. And no matter how much you continue to run, it is not going to bring you peace. It is not going to make you feel better. It is going to continue to eat up inside. And you cannot run from what is within your psyche.
I'm from a rough neighborhood, Howard. You know that. I've told people here about that. My family moved to New Sarum to try and find better opportunity. All that it brought me was same shit, different day. But you know what's happened to me since I've been living in the city? I have learned responsibility. I have learned to walk on my 2 feet, to support myself, to support the people around me. There are people here that depend on me. There are people who need me here, Howard. This is my home. And I'm not leaving. This thing that you want to do, it's temporary. It's literally temporary. This desire to leave, this hatred of the city. You don't think that we all have some kind of feelings of that about this place. But you know what outweighs it? The good things that have been here for us. The family and friends that we've made here. That's something that'll always outweigh any sense of hatred, any sense of disgust. So I want you to look at me, Howard. I want you to look at me in the eyes. And I want you to tell me that what we have said here does not carry weight with you. If you can still give me, I don't know about them, but if you can give me a better response to that, then I'm not going to say another word.
I can simply say this. I don't care. I'm done. I'm leaving. Good night. That's all she wrote.
Stefan stands up about this moment that he hears the anger return to Howard's voice.
Not anger. Not anger. It's just
No,
very
it would
quiet.
actually return. It would actually start to. It would start to return a little bit.
Actually, sorry to do this, but Mud is gonna punch Howard. Sorry, I gotta do it.
Oh shit.
This is just I'm just gonna do my Dex brawl, and then I'll
Stands up
roll
very
my
straight. And for
Yeah.
anyone who's looking at him, probably Axel,
that.
you see a very tough look on his face.
Okay, I had
You can if you want. Just standard alertness perception.
yeah, and I got 3 successes on the Dex brawl, and then 3 successes on my my strength and potence.
No. I can soak that though, right?
Yeah, this is just a punch.
Yeah, this
Alright.
is just a punch.
Roll your damage.
He's not trying to kill you. He's just pissed at you.
Yep.
Soak doesn't cancel.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, soaks don't cancel.
Alright, so that's just nothing. That's
one.
one success.
Oh look, he took the punch.
There you go.
Without fortitude.
Bring it.
But it's a pretty damn good punch, though. It's just how it cocks back. It's almost like it's like a shotgun, if you will, as Mutt kind of clocks Howard right there, smacking the jaw.
Stefan has picked up 4 heavy, reusable shopping bags and begun walking away. Very upright, very rigid, very strong.
As that shot happened, immediately, Axel's point proof of loyalty, maybe, but Axel's immediate, response is to get between Mutt and Howard and stepping up to his defense. At this point, it's Mutt and Axel face to face, chest to chest, eye to eye. Step up with that look. Don't push it.
I will say one thing about when you punched Howard. You probably punched him on the side of his face that was all scarred up.
Yes.
So when you do that, you do also you kind of rip open some of like the areas where where the burns were, where it kind of like reconnected, and his face is bleeding. That's how you respond to another person's opinion.
Mutt just looks at Howard and looks at Axel. And he just kind of shakes his head. Howard, you're not even worth it anymore. Just...
Hey, Mutt. I'm leaving. You'll never see me again, so what does it matter? I gotta ask you something, and this counts for you too. And as this is happening, I'm gonna say the boat is probably is coming in. Or he's gonna be boarding. He stands up with his bag, and as he's walking, he continues to talk and sort of walk backwards, away from the two of you, as the like the platform for the boat is lowered. So he's getting on, and he keeps yelling, and he goes to the bow of the ship. He's like the only one on here. Like he's got here incredibly early. And he looks down to you and says, "Just you two can have your little city. You two can have the Camarilla. You two can have everything you want. I am done. You'll never see me again. Good night. And tell me this. That little prince up in his tower, what is he worth? To you, what is he worth?" And he's just looking down from the bow. Don't have a
Excellent.
response?
I thought that was more of a rhetorical question. That's what I got off it. But if you want a response, Axel's definitely contemplating it. And looks up. Kind of just smiles at Howard when he thinks of his answer. And looks to Mutt, just with that eye. Don't. He said he's not worth it. Don't let him drag it on any further. He's made his decision.
You don't think I'm worth anything, guys. I'm going to Poland. I'm going to help the people of my country. You help the people of your country and your city. I have relatives to take care of. Poor relatives. I never told you much about them. My family are mostly farmers. They live in squalor. But they help people in their communities, and that's what I want to go and do. I want to use these gifts to help them as well. So why use them here when there are so many of our kind here that can help? There are more places in this world where our powers can do good. But I have a lot of plans, a lot of things to catch up on, a lot of family to talk to, a lot of people to meet again. So if you hate me for that, you can go right ahead. I don't care. It's as simple as that. I called you guys friends once, but you know what? I didn't have to call you tonight. I didn't have to tell you any of this. I could have just left and you would have never known where I went. Maybe I would have left a note for you at my old house. But I didn't. At least I had the guts to look at you in the eye and say goodbye. So you know what? Goodbye. I don't hold it against you for hating me.
I don't hate you, Howard. I'm disappointed. And with that, Mutt just starts walking away.
Can you make a perception alertness, Derek?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Two successes.
When Stefan was walking away, you caught sight what was in those bags. It looked like a lot of baking soda.
Axel just stops and thinks for a minute. Just watches Howard go off on the ship. Last words out of spite.
No, actually, the last thing you do here, I would say, actually, is, let me see if I can get this. Oh, please tell me I can get this. He does actually pull out his old guitar. And he begins singing in English and playing the guitar at the same time. 100 times you were desecrated. You fell on a hail of insults. You were vilified by your friends and left to receive treason. But do not worry, for many have endured more than you. The strength of yourself seems weak, but do not worry, my friend. And he just continues singing on and on this very odd song. It sounds like he's added words into it actually to make it sound right, because it sounded like if some of these words weren't put in at points, even though they don't go with the rhythm, it would have sounded like broken English. And you just probably watch as this boat fades away. And he yells last thing out to you. He yells out, "I'm sorry if I, uh, I'm sorry if I said something wrong. I'm sorry if you hated my individuality."
Axel's thinking to himself. He watches the ship go. Sees anger between what he thought were allies. Doesn't understand that they still are. But a thought keeps in his head. Howard, I never hated you. And it wasn't because I thought you were worthless. You never saw the value in yourself.